Good morning, fifth graders. Ms. Jagodnik here. Today, there's no real lesson. We're reviewing for the test. Tomorrow, you will take the Chapter 11 test online. Now, remember, Chapter 11 is all about measurement, using the customary and the metric system to convert measurements in length, in capacity, and in weight and mass. And of course, that includes regular problems and word problems. So today we're going to go through a couple of each type of problem to help you review. On pages 689 and 690 in your book, there's a whole bunch of sets for a variety of problems. And we're going to try a couple of the harder ones in each set to give you an idea how you're doing. Then you can use that to help you practice what you need to practice a little bit more before the test tomorrow. Let's start with customary units. They're always more complicated. And we're going to start with length. So I've picked out a couple of problems here in length that I thought were a little tricky. First of all, we're in set A, and this is problem number 2. Asks you to convert 1.5 miles into feet. So first thing I always think about is whether my units are going from big to small or from small to big. Remember, when we're going to smaller units, we need more and we multiply. When we're going to bigger units, we need less and we divide. So this one is definitely going to a smaller unit. Miles are as big as they get. So to go to feet, I need to multiply. Now on my conversion chart, it tells me that 1 mile is 5,280 feet. Okay, so times 1, that's easy. But now I need to figure out what's half of a mile. So I need to do half of 5,280 feet. Oops. That's the same as doing 5,280 divided by 2. Okay. 2 goes into 5 twice, that's 4. Bring down the 2, it goes into 12 6 times. Bring down the 8, goes into 8 4 times. Okay. And the 0 I just annex. So it looks like half a mile is 2,640 feet. So to figure out how many feet are in 1.5 miles altogether, I'm going to add the 5,280 plus my 2,640, and that gives me a final answer of 7,920 feet. Now, here's one that goes the other way. Number 4 in this set asked me to do 54 inches and turn it into feet. So that means I'm starting with a little unit, inches are the smallest one, and going to a bigger one. I need to divide. So I'm going to divide 54 inches by my conversion. There are 12 inches in 1 foot. By the way, you do not need to have these conversions memorized. There was a chart that I typed up a couple days ago in the slides if you want to print that out or use that. Or if you can find one in one of your practice books, or if you just want to write out the conversions from the various lessons, you may have a chart of conversions with you during the test. That's fine. You need to be able to use them, but you don't have to have them memorized. So here's my 12 inches in 1 foot. Okay, I know that 12 goes into 54 4 times, that's 48. That means I have 6 inches as a remainder. Okay. Now I want to interpret that. That's 6 out of 12 inches for the next foot. And then I want to put that in simplest form. That's 4 1/2 feet. 54 inches is 4.5 feet. Getting kind of messy here. We'll just circle the answers. Okay, next we're moving on to capacity. Still in the customary unit. Okay. 7 pints, number 2, equals how many quarts? Well, I know pints is smaller than quarts. Oh, don't worry, I still have Mr. Gallon. He's a little marked up now, but he still works. So this might be a quick and easy way to help me with this situation. 7 pints is how many quarts? Well, if I look at my pints, if I have 7 of them, that's 1 quart. 2 quarts, 3 quarts. Uh-oh, I still have 1 pint left. So that's not a whole 4th quart. It's 3 whole quarts and half of another one. So I can say that 7 pints is 3.5 quarts. Okay. If I wanted to do it with a calculation, what I would really be doing is 7 divided by 2, because I know there are 2 pints in a quart. I need to divide because I'm going to a bigger unit. 2 goes into 7 3 times, that's 6. I have 1 left over, and it's 1 out of 2, so 3.5. So 2 different ways to do that one. Okay. The other one I picked from this set, going the other direction, starting with a bigger unit, is number 3. Here I have 1.5 gallons, and I want to change it into fluid ounces. If I do not use Mr. Gallon, this is a lot of steps, because I would have to first go, times 4 to get to quarts, then times 2 to get to pints, then times 2 to get to cups, and then times 8, because there are 8 fluid ounces in a cup. So that's a lot of steps. I'm going to cut that a little bit short by using Mr. Gallon. I have 1.5 gallons. I want to know how many fluid ounces. I know there's 8 fluid ounces in a cup. So let me quickly figure out how many cups are there in 1.5 gallons. Here's 1 gallon, and I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 cups. So if 1 gallon has 16 cups, half a gallon must have 8 more, because that 8 is half of 16. So I have 24 cups in my 1.5 gallons. And now I can just say there's 8 fluid ounces in each cup. So that gives me 192 fluid ounces. So I had to multiply to get to that smaller unit. I have 192 fluid ounces in 1.5 gallons. Okay, last set of customary units is set C, talking about weight. Here we're going in number 1 from pounds to ounces. So I'm going from a bigger unit to a smaller unit. I know I have to multiply. 2 3/4 pounds to get to ounces. I know there are 16 ounces in a pound. So 2 pounds, 2 times 16 equals 32. 3/4 of a pound, 3/4 times 16. That's 48 fourths. And 48 divided by 4 is 12. So I have 32 ounces plus 12 more ounces gives me a total of 44 ounces in 2 3/4 of a pound. Okay. Now I'm going to go the other way from ounces to pounds. Little unit to big unit means I need to divide. 56 ounces divided by 16 can get to pounds. So I just said 3 times 16 is 48. That leaves me with 8 left over. Not enough. So I have a remainder of 8. So 3 remainder of 8. That means that's out of 16 that I'm dividing by. So 3 8/16 of a pound. That's not simplest form. I can divide both of those by 8. So my final answer would be 3 1/2 pounds. Okay, done with the customary units. The next section, part 2, we're going to talk about the metric units, because that's the next thing you had to do in this test. Okay? Remember, the metric units are quick and easy because we're just talking about place value. Everything is base 10, tens, hundreds, thousands. So if I look at my first set, set D is length. Okay. I've got meters, 0.025, and I'm trying to go to millimeters. I know that milli always means 1,000, and it's a small unit. So I'm going from a big unit to a smaller unit. I have to multiply, and I have to multiply by 1,000, which really means just moving my decimal point 1, 2, 3 places bigger. So 25 millimeters would be my answer. Now, I have centimeters. I know that centi always means 100. I'm going to a bigger unit, meters. That means I have to divide. I have to divide by 100 means moving my decimal point 2 places smaller. This is a whole number, that's where my decimal point would be. I'm going to move it 2 places here and get 74.35. Capacity, same thing. I've got milliliters, that means 1,000, and they're smaller, so I need to multiply. 1, 2, 3 places over means I need to annex a 0, so this is 150 milliliters is the same as 0.15 liters for number 2. Number 4, 900 milliliters, this is the smaller unit. I'm dividing to get to the bigger one. The decimal point would be here. I divide by 1,000, means moving it over 3 times, which means that's 0.9 liters. Okay, the final section of the metric system, set F, talks about mass, grams and milligrams and kilograms. Okay, grams are smaller than kilograms, which means I need to divide to get to the bigger unit. Okay. I know kilo also means 1,000, so I'm going to divide by 1,000. 1, 2, 3 places over to make it 3 places smaller. So my answer is going to be 0.56 kilograms. Number 4, I'm starting with grams and going to milligrams, which I know are 1,000 times bigger. So I'm going to move this 3 places over. 1, 2, 3, annex the 0. This must be 170 milligrams. Okay. The last section here we're going to do is problem solving. I've got a couple of word problems to do that involve converting measurements. First, in set G, it says, Max wants a fence around his triangular garden. Fence around tells me I'm working with perimeter, because that goes around the outside. Triangular, I know that means it has 3 sides. So I should be adding these 3 sides together to get to perimeter. Each side is 6 yards. But the question asks me how many feet does he need? So again, I just need to know my conversions. There are 3 feet in a yard. And feet are smaller, so I need to multiply. So each side is going to be 18 feet. So to find out how many feet he needs to go all the way around the outside, I'm going to do 18 plus 18 plus 18. 3 eighths is 24. 2, 3, 4, 5. So he needs 54 feet of fencing. Okay. Finally, in set H, here's a multi-step problem for you. Monica bought a 40-pound bag of dog food. Twice a day, ooh, there's a sneaky number in there. That means times 2. The dog gets 6 ounces. Oh, so I see this is in pounds, but this is in ounces. How much food will she use in, 1 week? Another sneaky number. That's, if this is a day and this is a week, I'm going to have to do times 7. Okay. So first I know that 2 times a day, the dog gets 6 ounces. Okay. So that's 12 ounces a day. Then I'm going to have to do times 7 days. That's 84 ounces every week. How much food will she use in 1 week? It doesn't tell me what unit I have to use. So I could leave it like that, or I could change it into pounds, but I think this is just a trick. It doesn't ask me how much food she has left. It just asks me how much food she uses. So I can say she uses 84 ounces of food a week. I hope those examples help you. You can try the rest of the examples on your own. Get yourself a conversion chart, and good luck on the test tomorrow.